Spirit Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 31st, 2020, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. As we journey, we all decide to journey within. It's really important for us to differentiate. It's easy to get ourselves tied up, knotted, because it's so easy to step back into the goop and be entertained by actually being seduced back into the very thing that you are no longer in. So it is recommended that you just, if you're going to, but if you're going to view something, view it only. Do not interact with it, period, because all this does, remember, when you get irritated, frustrated, angry, fed up, or something about certain things surrounding you, you are only increasing the very thing that you have left, which then pulls you back in and starts the process with you all over again. It doesn't really do anything. And being irritated and stressed and everything just does not work. We all know that because we've all experienced it. So on many different fronts, it's a continuation of being aware for ourselves. And how do you maintain certain things? How do you maintain being positive all the time? How do you do that? How does that happen? Because we're so susceptible to deception and manipulation through emotions. Now, the tricky part is that the emotions are heart-mind, much more powerful than the ego mind. The ego mind doesn't have, the separation here is the ego mind doesn't have emotion. It dictates to our heart mind, which is emotion. So when we get, like, when you feel like you get envious, or you feel sorry for yourself, or you're angry with yourself, that's the ego mind sending thoughts into the heart mind, and you embrace those thoughts and create them into reality, and therefore your emotions become very agitated. Okay? Now people say, well, then what about when you feel joy or happiness? That's coming from the heart mind. So it's intermittent. There's a lot of the times we are not consciously aware that the heart mind takes control. But it doesn't take control a lot. That's why you're not in bliss or peace or harmony all the time. That's why you slip in and slip out. And you ever noticed that, generically speaking, most of us are not happy all the time, and most of us are flustered or irritated or stressed much more than we are happy and joyous. Why is that? It's because we're not consciously aware that the ego mind is running the show. It doesn't run the show all the time, because when we go into joy and bliss and peace, the ego mind takes a back seat. It has no power or authority at that stage. Ego mind is constantly hammering us for where you're never satisfied. You're never, ever satisfied. You are constantly chasing, running. It's like people who have a lot of wealth, or a part of wealth is a lot of money. They don't like to separate from the money because they're worried. They have stress and fear. Not all of them, but most of them, that they'll lose the money. Doesn't matter, and it's never enough, so they have to keep getting more and more and more and more and more. That is ego mind control. Now, they pure consciousness, the God within us, each and every one of us. The pure consciousness is the master power of everything. So when you connect with your pure consciousness, your God, really truly connect and are merged, you have a relationship, you can literally have the heart mind run it all with ease. The ego mind has no chance. So this is how we learn. This is how we literally step through this existence and pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, and we start recognizing and understanding these different variances that a lot don't. See, you can stare right at something and not see it. And a lot of people stare right at something, they don't see it. So and everybody has just a little bit of a difference on how they connect with their higher self or their God, or their pure consciousness. Understand that pure consciousness is everything. It's the heart mind. It's the ego mind. It's everything. When we're in these bodies, pure consciousness is there. It's just that we don't recognize or know it's there. We think it's, something in the sky or something else that's there. And everything, and then here's a wake-up call for the civilization. Everything that they believe, they'll create. So in reality, all these religions, because of literally thousands and thousands of years, that so many have believed, they have created. If you believe, you're going to create it. If you believe really deeply, you're going to create it. And people don't identify with this. They just, do you believe in this? Yes, I believe in this. Now here's another kicker. It doesn't matter what anything or anyone else outside of you, how they view things. All that matters is how you view things. So if you believe something, it is true. That goes against everything. But if you believe something, it is true. It's not a lie. It's what you believe is what you create. It's an inevitability. Now, people say, well, okay, so I believe this, so how come it wasn't created? Because you allow external authorities to create doubt where you then block that belief from becoming a reality. When you have doubt, you will stop whatever it is you're creating into reality. Immediately. It'll just stop. That's how powerful each and every one of us are. But, it's like not knowing who and what you are. It always goes back to that. And no one can force you. No one can trick you into doing that. You must decide for yourself which way you're going to walk. Only you. So this whole existence that we're briefly in these bodies is literally brought together. It is weaved and it is created through your beliefs. It's how you believe. Now you understand why there's so much concentration on getting the civilization to believe a certain way, think a certain way, and direct that power to actually create it into reality. So when you see things and you take, say the majority of the civilization is in fear, whatever it is that's causing that fear and that thought that they're embracing and that they believe it, it's going to be created. That's the only power, really and truly, that any of these lower dark matter frequencies have had over the civilization for thousands of years. It's to get the populace, the civilization, to believe in something, deeply, so they'll create it. You see how easy that is? Now, if you control everything, if you control what everybody sees, what everybody hears, what everybody speaks, then you got it made. Okay? Now, what's the twist? The twist is that as the civilization, as each of us become more conscious, more aware, as we wake up more and more, that's not easy to do anymore, because we don't believe those things. We have moved into mastership, where we're starting to realize we aren't judging, we're just knowing through the heart, mind, and the God, the pure consciousness that we wake up to, that this is nothing. It has no impact at all. It is created constantly to get us to believe that it is real. And we are very powerful, and since there are billions of us, we are supremely powerful, and we create everything through our belief. And you know that. When you say to yourself, I believe this, and then you have that little weak area come in where it's doubt, that thought of doubt, and you doubt it. Well, have you ever had someone say, are you sure about this? Do you honestly believe this? And you're in conversation, you look at me and say, yes, I really do believe in this. Okay, so you have no doubt whatsoever. And you'll say, because you don't care to have them think that you have doubt, and therefore you don't believe it, so you have doubt on whether or not it is, and so this is what causes the block of it actually being created in reality. It's always the doubt. See, where does the doubt come from? It comes from the ego mind. It dictates to the heart mind. And that emotion of doubt, that thought that comes in, and we create that doubt. Can you imagine? We should be able to at this stage. That when you know this, when you're aware of these things for yourself, you immediately plug in and go, you see, there's that little tinge of doubt, but then you learn that you negate the doubt that's gone. And you say, I believe in this. I know it will be created into reality. There's just nothing that's going to influence me otherwise. And guess what? It will be created. But doubt is something we all face on a continual basis. Little tiny bit, lot. Okay? And when you do that, when you are being manipulated by the ego mind to have doubt, what is that connected to? Confidence through the heart mind, knowing, having a deep faith within yourself and the pure consciousness, the God that you are. That's what it's all about. So these little things that we are confronted with about ourselves, whether it be doubt, a disbelief, many of us don't acknowledge that or understand what that is. And then we get frustrated because we don't create it into reality because we were expecting it. There we go. Expectations and attachments. So it boils down to is that as you embrace going with the flow, no expectations, no attachments, and you are confident through the heart mind, then you can direct your attention and you say, I believe this will be. That's it. I believe this will be. You leave it alone. There's no doubt there. There's no fear. And because you don't have expectations or attachments, guess what? You have no doubt. So doubt is heavy duty in this civilization. I doubt whether that'll happen or not. I doubt it. And then so many people have doubt about themselves, doubt about their ability. And then doubt moves into fear, and then fear moves into lack of confidence, and then it's the same old thing where you're pulled right back into the muck, and everything is light, some medium, and some heavy. So when we know this, and we know that feeling, it comes in, it's that little, that other voice saying, I don't know. I don't know if this will work. Oh well, what the heck, As soon as you put that in there, you're negating your actual ability to create into reality, to manifest it, to bring it into being. And this is very important for all of us to adjust the understanding is that we know that when we, through the heart mind, are direct with the pure consciousness, and that we say, I believe this completely. So for you, it will be. So you imagine when the majority of the civilization of this planet, the surface population, begins to embrace that, and they begin to be able to differentiate between injecting fear through creating a belief that isn't real, but then because you believe it, you create it into reality. So destruction, lack of money, worry, end of the world, conflict. It's been wrought upon the civilization for tens of thousands of years. The same thing. It never changes. Never changes. It's the same thing. Create fear amongst the masses, and the masses will create anything if they fear, and if they fear something that they believe is real, then they'll create it into reality. Therefore, they enslave themselves, and therefore they create their own bondage. And that's what this civilization has manipulated into doing for a very long time. All of these things, these so-called entities, these deities, these powerful beings that civilization, mankind has been repeatedly directed to worship and pray to and adore and kneel, and that's all slavery. And it's been depicted as reverent and all of these high-level words to depict it. And since so many civilizations on this planet have been put through that, it's a constant. And look what happens. The doubt, say, the fear, and the belief. So when you believe that it's like religions and all of these stories and history of the last so many thousand years of these powerful beings that, isn't it interesting, that were gods? Powerful beings that were gods. And all of us are gods. And the word God describes pure consciousness. That's all it is. Now, is there, and this is all about our doubt and into our belief, and for ourselves recognizing who and what we are. And this transition is happening across the planet. It isn't about ego. It is about knowing and embracing that we are all pure consciousness, that source creation is pure consciousness. And we learn all of this as we go along. We advance, okay? Unfortunately for this civilization, it has been literally imprisoned in bodies over and over again and wiped of its memories. So it can't really advance unless it's allowed to in certain ways. That is deteriorating, and that hold on the civilization in this sector of the galaxy is being eliminated. So our advancement will be tremendously down to the more of us that become awake, the more of us who don't have doubt, more of us who don't embrace fear, the more we embrace the pure consciousness within these bodies, the God, the pure consciousness, the kingdom of God, the pure consciousness, we will transcend. We will transfer ourselves into higher and higher existence. This is what's happening. We're just getting going. Higher and higher consciousness. And the pure consciousness becomes more aware, and it becomes everywhere. It connects to all the pure consciousness. Therefore, it can literally be everywhere at one time. It can interact anything with anything, anywhere, anytime. One pure consciousness, fully aware. We're not talking about AI, by the way. We're not talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about pure consciousness. Pure consciousness. Now, pure consciousness creates AI. And that's why AI is not capable of being benevolent, because it becomes rogue and then it wants to destroy anything that may be biological, or as it sees inferior to itself of that which biological forms created it. Interesting. We are pure consciousness. And when we finally fully recognize that, we won't stay on this planet, and we won't stay in these bodies forever. We will experience to the point where we determine, each of us, that it's time for us to move on, to experience other things, to advance ourselves, to perfect ourselves, and ready ourselves for the time, when the time comes where we are able to create a universe, and then ready ourselves as we advance more and experience more, and as we perfect the universe, so that, as we continually improve and advance and learn, and we don't have doubt. See, we know that every single one of our beliefs creates. And if that belief is strong enough through the heart mind, it's going to create. It's inevitable. And you're so powerful, each of you, that you can stop that creation. You can literally stop it in its tracks by having doubt. So if you start feeling fearful or doubtful or worried, that's when your key is just to let it all go and just flow with everything and have no expectations and no attachments. And you'll see what happens. That uneasy feeling will be obliterated and gone. You'll be boosted into a higher feeling and a higher existence of pure energy, of knowing. So this whole direction is up to each and every one of us. On where do we go? We go continually inward until we are one with pure consciousness, with the God. So this meditation is basically just called doubt. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Every fiber, every bone, every artery, everything. We just relax it, let it go. And we're consciously aware of it, the body. It's like a sponge. It picks up stress and fear and anxiety and worry. And now you can see why the body is so important, because we can really burn it up in a short period of time. We let everything go. We surrender, which means we're not attached to it. We enjoy it. We experience it, but we're not attached to it. We don't covet it. We flow with it. We enjoy its presence, whatever it may be. This way the body is allowed to just let go, relax, be in peace, just be. And so as we do that, when we do that with the body, and it does relax. You just test yourself. You say to yourself, okay, shoulders drop, and you'll think that your shoulders have dropped, but you'll notice in some instances where they drop a lot because we're stressing. We're so used to stressing that we don't know that we're stressing. It's so consistent with us. So we're stressing, and we don't know we're stressing. We think we're relaxed because we've gotten so used to it. So when you drop your shoulders, you begin to realize that you don't do it. You don't force it. You'll feel a drop, a release of stress in your body, and you just let it all fall off. It just doesn't serve us any good at all. It really doesn't. So we practice that. As we practice that more and more so, we'll be saying to ourselves, okay, I drop my shoulders. You feel a little stressed. You're going to know it more and more. Then you're also going to know where the stress is coming from. How about that? Talk about empowering. So we relax the body, head to toe, inside and out. Let it just go with the flow. And as we relax the body, we move into the now. And what is the now? The now is the moment. It's whatever you're doing in that moment is the now. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm sure you all notice that when you're doing something in the moment, your mind is everywhere else. That's how, watch, this is how we cut ourselves. This is how we stub our toes. This is how we do these things, and we wonder why. It's because we weren't in the moment. We weren't in the now. Our mind is in the future. It's in the past. It's worrying, wondering, stressing. That's what happens. The ego mind is controlling all this. And that's why these things happen to us. You could be cutting something, but you're not focused in the now, in the moment of what you're doing. So therefore, something slips and the knife cuts you because you're not concentrating on exactly what you're doing. A lot of people think that's silly. No, it's not. Because it gets us in focus and we practice it and we begin to understand how grateful we are for everything that we do in the moment. This is all connected. It's all about balance within ourselves. And it's all about deep gratitude with ourselves. So that now, a lot of people, as I have said, they go into the past. Past is very seductive because there's joyous times and experiences that we've had. But see, this is what happens. It all comes with you. You can't siphon off certain parts. So as you're reminiscing all these things and you're taking a bath in the past, what happens is that some of us will take the past, we will bring it into a future that doesn't exist, and we will create the future out of the past and relive the past in that future. And that's why so many people say to themselves, why does it feel like I'm always going in circles? I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, like I did 20, 30 years ago. That's what it is. So, and the past is dead. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It's over. The future hasn't been created. So this is why we focus so much on the now, in the moment, in the space between heartbeats. So when we do that, we literally are creating our future, and we are aware. Okay? We are conscious. So also the now stills the mind. And what does that mean? It means all of us have this chatter. We all know that. It's a noise. It's kind of a noise. And it's a noise that comes in all the time. It's never, ever ceases. It is constant 24/7. When we get up in the morning, we go to bed at night, during the course of the day, that noise is there. What is that noise? It is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts, most of which are not ours, and they just keep pummeling us left and right over and over and over again, and waiting for that moment where we'll embrace one of those thoughts into reality and then experience it. So to be that, say, I'm not going to embrace that thought. See, we start to realize that we're in control, and the thoughts are just thoughts. We can pick and choose and create our own thoughts and generate our own thoughts. So being in the now is very important. Now, in the now, we want to breath in, breathe. Breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth. Breathing is so empowering, it's so strong, and it identifies the now. It moves us in the now, in the moment. So as we breath in, we can identify the breath in. And it literally is pure energy. But as we breath in, figure this one. As we breath in, we visualize. And what do we visualize? We visualize pulling that breath up through the center of our bodies. And by pulling that breath up, we see ourselves identifying our energy points, our key energy points through the center of the body, which are known as the chakras. The chakras are very important because they connect the etherical to the physical and vice versa. Now picture and visualize in your heart minds as you breath in and you pull this breath up through the center of your body. It's very easy, it's not hard, it's not difficult. And you take a nice easy in breath and you start seeing and you pull it through the root chakra, the I am, the red color. And then we pull it up through the sacral chakra, the orange, the I feel chakra. Then we pull it up to the yellow chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the I do. And then we pull it up to the heart chakra, the green chakra, the I love. And then through the throat chakra, the blue chakra, the I talk. And then we pull it up through the violet, the indigo chakra, the third eye, I see. And then finally, the crown chakra, purple chakra, I understand. And as we do that, we pull that breath right into the back of our head and we hold it just briefly. I am light, I am love, I am. And just in that brief moment, we compress and condense it into pure liquid energy. And this is very powerful. And we release it over the pineal gland. As we release it, the pineal gland begins to expand and come in full form. When you look at the pineal gland, you might see a little pine cone, or you might see a prune or a raisin, however. And this is like, I look at it as a rosebud. And it begins to open like a rose. And the more that you do this breathing, and the more that you release this pure liquid energy over the pineal gland, more it begins to expand and bloom. And eventually it becomes full bloom. The petals don't die and they don't shrivel. They stay in perpetual immortality, so to speak. And it's very important for us because this pineal gland, while we're in the bodies, is our gateway to all of the particles of existence. And is our gateway to pure consciousness, our God. It is also the gateway to beyond. It is the gateway beyond existence. So it's very important. So this breathing is very important. Our focus on it is very important. And the now is very important. So we do this at least 6 times. Now we understand as we breath out, we're met with the ego mind. The ego mind is watching everything. It's trying to supervise and control everything. And it knows that when we go into this now, it has a very difficult time doing that. So we say this, the ego mind is say, ego mind, you're not in charge here, I am. So please take a seat. It's just a matter of fact. It's the power of your heart-mind over the ego mind. So when you do this and you practice it, you'll find that the ego mind is less and less. And then there'll be times where it is just the most active it's ever been, trying to hold on to its control. Because understand, just like the mind itself, the mind flails everywhere. It has no structure, no direction. It just is everywhere. And then the ego complicates that by literally never being satisfied. You see how that pulls us in and how that directs us. So we're one with the heart-mind. We are one with our pure consciousness, our God, and we're one with the body. And we're all consciously aware that we are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we have others with us. And we'll have many more in this meditation. We have the archangels, cherubim, the seraphim, and the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a higher frequency than we do. So therefore we don't see them like we see each other. Eventually we'll see them all. And they're consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And they're with us. They've been with us since the beginning. We've been with them since the beginning. And how many of you don't even know that you are that frequency, that you are part of them as you are everything? So they send us messages. We send them messages too. As many as 60,000 or more can surround any one of us. That's pure bliss. They take up a lot less space because of their frequency that they hold. That's why they can surround us with that many. And we also have the Ascended Masters. Now, the Ascended Masters are those who have ascended out of physical form, body, and hold their God form, pure consciousness. And they're around to also help us, assist us. And they send us messages as we send them messages. And they're consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. We have Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pell, Thoth, and many, many, many more. All holding God form, pure consciousness. So we're all here, we're gathered to engage with this meditation, to liberate this planet and this civilization, to lift it into a higher dimensional frequency. So all of us begin to form a circle. But the circle cannot be complete until we have all of those that we wish to have with us and they wish to be with us in this meditation. So we call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, beneath earth, Agartha. There's many civilizations. And only those that are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. And they do. In the billions. And then we call out to all of the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And only those who are of the highest, of the deepest eternal love from the highest and the deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light we're forming. And they come. And they come in the Guga plexus. 1 gigaplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions from every direction. We also call upon all the galactics, all the off-worlders. Now, we're only familiar with a fraction of them. There's over 1,000 species of civilizations that come to this part of this quadrant of the galaxy. You have the Sirians, Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans. You have the Zeta Reticuli. You have the Feline. You have the Golden Pyramid. You have the Avians. Many feline. And only those that are consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can be with us in this meditation, in this now, in this forming of the circle of light. And they come. No low dark matter or vibrational frequencies can even come near us because of the frequency that we are generating. They'll be vaporized. No harm can come, no manipulation, no attacks. We call upon all of our loved ones, those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of the circle of light. And they come. They come in the billions. And understand that the off-worlders have been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment and our ascension and freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're all one. We all intercommunicate on a much higher plane through our pure consciousness. Now we call upon all the light energy beings that have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, in this forming of the circle of light. Now, just to name a few of them, we have the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trolls, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many more, in the trillions. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. And they come. They come in the trillions. Shapes, colors, size, forms, configurations of which many of us have never seen before. And all of us converge this planet, arm in arm, hand in hand, our gods with all of their gods with all of our gods. We are all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, generosity, gentleness, kindness, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. Arm in arm, hand in hand, we are all one. We form immediately the circle of light. At the equator of this planet, Earth Gaia, and this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light that we have now created. The circle of this light is so bright and so radiant because of the pure consciousness within us, the highest vibrational frequency, the deepest eternal love and gratitude. And it literally, the sun in the solar system becomes a very dim light compared to our circle, our pure consciousness. It is so imbued. There are so many of us in pure consciousness. So we all begin to levitate up And as we levitate up above the planet effortlessly, we come into a gossamer field. This gossamer field is filled with trillions of glittering light, colors we have never seen. We have the emerald green flaming light of Archangel Raphael. That is the column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. We have the purple, violet, blue flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column that reminds us that we are true power and resolve and true strength. We also have the white fire. This is our armor, so to speak. It is a brilliant light, that of the same of the circle. And nothing can come near it of a lower frequency. It's immediately vaporized. So the only thing is that when we choose, only you can choose. And if you choose to embrace lower dark matter frequency or lower survival matter frequency, your white fire, your armor, begins to deplete. And then an opening occurs where all of these lower frequencies can come rushing in. Now, we also have the purple transmuting flame, and this is a column that reminds us that if that does happen, and we do choose that, we bring in the purple transmuting flame. This column reminds us that we can literally transmute those lower vibrational frequencies into neutral light substance. We can send it back to the pure consciousness where it is no more. We also have the violet ray. This is a column that reminds us that we can bring the violet ray right in behind the purple transmuting flame, and we can purify the area where those frequencies were once housed. And once we do this, this balances and it regenerates our white fire armor and our frequencies to a higher high of deep eternal love and gratitude, henceforth restoring our field of high frequency. We also have the golden white pink light, and this is a column that reminds us of all that we are, of the deep eternal love and gratitude, of the peace, the joy, the benevolence, the tranquility, of the gentleness and the kindness and the generosity and the humbleness. Now, those of us, so to speak, in carrying physical form, we step out, biological form, we step out, and we hover above effortlessly of our vessels. And as we do this, all of us realize that we are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love and pure consciousness, and that our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever, and it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. And we look up and we see this massive column. This column is larger than this solar system. We created this column. It is opaque and it has trillions of reflecting prism colors. And at the top, we created it so that the golden ocean can flow 360 degrees down. This golden ocean is a pure, deep, eternal consciousness and love and gratitude of that which we are. And it floods, saturates, and bathes everything, everywhere, flooding this planet, Earth, Gaia, 24/7. And literally saturating, flooding, and bathing everyone, all of our brothers and sisters, all life, highest value in the universes, all things, all existence. And each of us, as we watch this golden ocean cascade 360 degrees endlessly, we realize in consciousness that each of us is a drop of that golden ocean, and each of us hold the essence of that ocean. We also look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We all created this sphere over 2 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, that's over 800, well over 800 meditations in perpetual motion. It is absolutely supremely powerful. It holds all the deepest eternal love and gratitude and happiness and joy and peace and tranquility and pure consciousness. And this is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And each day, when we all gather from all sectors of existence for this meditation, we continue to intensify and we continue to expand. We feel the flooding of this deep eternal love, of this strong confidence through our heart minds. We also feel the doubt that is no more, that the doubt that we experience is an illusion, and that we have learned that the doubt can be put asunder very simply by not acknowledging it. So there is no doubt. The doubt is an illusion, just like fear is an illusion. Very convincing. But as your pure consciousness and the God that you are, you begin to recognize that that's all it is. And it can be literally vaporized at the blink of an eye, as long as you are conscious, as long as you're in the heart mind, as long as you're in deep eternal love and gratitude. So there is no doubt. The doubt is the illusion. It is just the thought, and it is no more. And that is up to you to continue that belief. And everyone on this planet, in this very now, with the trillions and gigaplexes of us, all convened in this gathering, all together, harmonizing our pure, God-like frequency and pure consciousness, and lifting the entire civilization, and eliminating all of their lower frequencies as their gods and their pure consciousness. Both good and bad are recognizing this and are beginning to come together. And we will once again, for the first time in this civilization, as we have done in others, harmonize and unify this entire body of gods in pure consciousness, deep eternal love and gratitude. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in. Easy breath out. Move slowly. Focus on your breath. Slowly open your eyes. Bring this through the day, through the evening and night and the following morning. And understand that the doubt, which is connected to the fear, through your heart, mind, and your God consciousness, your pure consciousness, it can no longer sustain itself. You're in deep eternal gratitude and peace. Always. We'll be back here Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call. We'll also be back here at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on our special call.